Scott in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, but call me Mo Better, because I'm have you seen Mo Better looking Mo Better and show everyone else that love and feeling that I bring to glasses. But first I want to thank you for your repeat business. Scott originally got glasses for me, first pair back in 2016. Still doing business to today. This time I'm doing the Transitions Signature Generation 8 lenses with Crizal Alize for the RayBan 8412 in color 2503, the matte black and the 54 eye size. Now this frame comes in two sizes, 52 and the larger 54. Comes in about 4 colors. Of course, it's got the carbon fiber pattern on the case. It's got the carbon fiber pattern on the cleaning cloth, and what do you know, it's got the carbon fiber pattern on the carbon fiber temples. Of course, it comes with a little left plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping, and I'm gonna put that on there when I ship to you. One of the strongest and lightweight frames that RayBan makes because of the carbon fiber. It's semi-rimless frame. This frame comes, as I mentioned, in 2 sizes, the 52 and 54. It comes in about 4 colors. There's a gunmetal that instead of black, it'll be gunmetal here, almost this color on the front with the darker temples here. It comes in silver with brown. It comes in like an all gunmetal. It does not come all matte black. It does have that on there. So let me go ahead and begin. I'm going to take out your original demo lenses, one of which says RayBan, although that's the left lens. We're going to leave this in here because this is semi-rimless. I want to do something a little bit differently. I have to trace the lens instead of the frame. So I'm going to put, the reason why I have it on this graph has straight lines on there. And I'm going to pick a line, any line, put a dot on this side, follow it down the graph, do the same thing on this side. That gives me 2 points of reference. If you guys missed any of that, yeah, don't worry. I won't say it this time. I'll get you later. Can I get an IOU? And I'm going to pop out the original demo lens. Use this tool this time, which will help me trace the lens. This actually, you see me use these blocks all the time, but this is actually just a little block for the smaller frames. This is all this is that's attached to this device, without the sticker, with the sticker, with the sticker, with the sticker exposed. So now I have those 2 dots. This has a line going across the back. I'm going to place those 2 dots on one of the lines of its own graph. Press that on there firmly, place it into the tracing element of my blocker. Go ahead and program the shape in there. You are Secret Agent 2576. And I'm going to hit we're going to trace just the right lens and hit start. It's going to ask me what the bridge size is, which is 17. The computer already starts at 18, so I'm just going to type in 17. Little stylus is going to come up, go around and trace the outside of the right lens here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any genuine, authentic RayBan frame, and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance, you will get reimbursed for your out-of-network reimbursement. My website takes MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover, and Future cards as they come out. Now, PayPal does not accept. You don't have to have PayPal to purchase through the website. You can use any credit card. But PayPal is essentially my cash register. It does not accept health savings account flex dollars. So if you have an HSA card that you want to use to purchase from, you just have to go to the contact me page of the website and get my phone number, give me a call up, tell me what you want, or we'll probably email in advance. I'll tell you, and I'll have an itemized breakdown of what everything will be. And then you can just pay with a credit card over the phone. You can always pay by a credit card over the phone. You do not have to purchase through the website. So let's go ahead and move on to the next screen. That is the shape of the lens. Look, it's got a little sticker on there that I'll be cutting, only magnified. I can bring that down. Let's go ahead and take the sticker off. Put that on my collection. Put that back in the tray. Clean up as we go. Now it's time to enter your pupillary distance, which is 62. For a combined total of 62 divided by 2, we get 31 per eye. Again, the computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap this minus button at the bottom of the screen till we get to 31. I do want to raise the optical center height up to, let's go 17.5. We're going to do 2.5 above the total. So we're going to do 17.5. And let's see here. That is it. So I got to get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads -175 -1 at 102. -175 -1. Turn everything on. It is Saturday. I'm coming in to get everything shipped. This coronavirus scare, giving people a little extra bonus. So you heard it here first. During the coronavirus, while everything is slowed down, everybody gets a video for free. So you do not need to purchase a video. You will get one for free with the purchase of every sale. So -175 -1 at 102. Turn the axis wheel to 102. Turn the machine on. Put the power drum, well actually let's start at 0, make sure everything is focused where it's supposed to be. Put it on -175, take the lens out of the protective packet that it comes in. It comes with a little laminate on the front of the lens to protect the lens from anything rubbing on it during shipping. Take that off, add it to my laminate collection. Am I a hoarder? Do I collect things unnecessarily? It keeps them out of landfills. Got to think about the planet for the future generations, until I figure out some kind of artwork to do with it. Place the lens into it. Check your astigmatism correction. I rotate the lens until the spherical part of the prescription comes in first. And we're going to label this one the right lens. And then I check the astigmatism correction to make sure that is correct. We're going to do the same thing now for the left eye. In fact, just so you can verify, you're going to get the Essilor brand Transition Signature 8, Generation 8 with Crizal Alize. I'm going to highlight that. Your right eye, -175 -1. Essilor calls polycarbonate airwear because they feel it's as light as air, and it does have the T Generation 8 Gray with Crizal Alize. And of course this is the right eye. And when you get your glasses in the mail, you will be receiving these packages labeled right and left to verify that is what you're getting in the correct prescription. So your left eye, -175 -75 at 95, -175 -75 at 95. Now it has two sets of numbers on here. The first one is in plus cylinder. Years ago, doctors, or actually when eyeglasses were made, they used to put, you can see how the lenses are curved this way. It used to be, this was the front of the lens and the back was flatter. So that's when it was plus cylinder, when the astigmatism correction was on the front of the lens. Now they move it to the back of the lens. Plus becomes minus. It's in the back. And that's where all astigmatism correction is made. Now some doctors still have older equipment that record everything in plus cylinder. And doctors are the top of the pecking order, so they can write what they want. But that's why these lens packets still have plus cylinder and minus cylinder. The numbers are a little different in the front, but how's that for a little extra information that you really weren't interested in? So we're at 95 -175. I'm not interested in it either. I'm just explaining. So check the spherical component first. Check your astigmatism correction. In fact, let's just make sure that's 250, and it is. Put 3 dots on your lenses. Uno, dos, ocho. We're going to label this one L, which is Latin for not right. It's a binary code. And we're going to do -175 -75. Airwear Transitions Generation 8 Gray, Crizal Alize. And again, this is the left lens. And if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You knew I had to sneak that in there somewhere. Okay, so this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I'm out of, except that now you see my stash. Got them down here. Got 2 of them here. Place the sticker onto the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. That silver button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time, it's going to attach itself to another magnet here in the arm, so it stays there. And the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me that the lens is oriented in there just perfectly. With your astigmatism correction, your lens cannot be shifted, or you're just not going to see as well. This blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. So I'm going to line up those 3 dots exactly where they're supposed to go. I want to check one thing. We're good to go there. Actually, I want to check one more thing. Let's see something else. Let's see something else. You actually have more room this way. You have the same power, so that while I'm here, let me just go ahead and do this. Everything is, we use this last number, the axis refers to the meridian. If you think of the wings of a plane with everything on a horizontal plane, P-L-A-N-E. You have the same power this way as you do this way. It looks like you had a little more room this way, so I turned it upside down to get that one blocked. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. It has mirrored the right lens, the measurements that is, 31, same for the right, 17.5, same optical center height for the left. Pull the paperweight and make the black side sticky, line up the magnet, get everything lined up in here just perfectly. Got a good amount of room on the edge of the lens there. Hit that button. Now the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own, and while you're under quarantine for the coronavirus, put this on your kitchen counter. You can cut your own lenses at home, and you will need this guy with the 2 thumbs to come in and do it for you. But the actual cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material down to from this size to this size. The wheel in the center that normally puts a valley on your lens is not going to be used. Instead, let's wake this up. I will show you the blade that's going to cut the groove into your lens. In fact, now would be a good time to clean it off. This is all the optical sawdust from the safety bevel. Let me clean all that off. Get off. Come on, you. Come on, you. Get off of there. Get off of there. Let's start from clean. Dispose of that. But this blade is going to cut the groove into your lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. This is the wheel that does the safety bevel. This is a very fine grit. This is a sharper blade that's spinning real fast, will cut you. And of course that's a drill bit for doing drill frames such as Silhouette, and of course Oakley and RayBan make a few. Let me hit the backup button. You see as everything moving back into place. Now we will use this wheel, but not for the bevel, but just to flatten out the lens so the groove cuts in there perfectly. We're going to wake up the computer. Job ID number 2576. 2576, or as I like to call it, installment 2576 of my 330 million volume series of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. So stay tuned to the 330th million episode, because spoiler alert, something weird's going to happen. So if I were to, this automatically, when I trace just one lens, sets it up as semi-rimless, where it's going to cut the groove. I could do a metal or plastic groove, the V-shaped bevel, or I could do a flat one if this were a drill mount, but we're going to keep everything as a semi-rimless. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens, but I am going to put a safety bevel this time on the front convex surface of the lens, since there is no frame to hold it in. I'm going to smooth out the front of the lens, and I'm going to put a slightly heavier bevel on the back surface of the lens. I'm going to press that on there firmly. Place, oops, see, it got me thrown off. The magnet always goes on top. Place the magnet into the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. Free bad jokes with the purchase of every frame. Hit the green start button, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it is large enough to fit into the frame, or what could be the frame. And you see as this go around tracing the shape, even though there's very little frame on here. And then the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know where to cut the groove into the lens so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now the water in the background is there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, meaning that no water sprays onto your lens during the cutting cycle. Now, unlike plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex, those materials cut wet, meaning that water is spraying, just like a garden hose sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. Now, water will spray onto your lens, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away any of the optical debris that you see beginning to form around the edge of your lenses. But your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics-grade lens material, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. The transitions portion of your lens offers you 30 to 40% blue light protection. You have 100% UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin there in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now you got the Crizal Alize again. Crizal Alize is actually 3 treatments. The first part of the treatment is it reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain. But street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights, and such. The second part of the treatment, it goes by the initials ARC, which stands for anti-reflective coating. So it reduces reflections. When someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, so it makes for much better eye contact. Or if you take a selfie, you're less likely to see your picture, the phone in your lenses, or if someone takes a picture with a flash, you're less likely to see that. Now the third part of the feature, by the way, everyone fart when they get up in the morning and smell it. If you can smell it, you don't have the coronavirus. Safety first. My wife wishes I wasn't so safe sometime, but hey, if she can smell it, I can breathe a sigh of relief that she's okay and doesn't have the virus, because you lose your sense of smell. But the third part of the feature is that it's the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, because they literally have to take your lenses out in between each vaporization, wash it in an acid bath, let it air dry. And so because of the time and the expense between the 8 coatings, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. Now, because these are semi-rimless, I've started reaching out to everyone to ask if they want the edge of their lenses polished. Normally, I don't polish lenses in a plastic or metal frame because they're not seen. There is the chance that any thickness will be seen. Now, with the pros come the cons. Some people I do not charge for polished edges because my machine does it. But polished edges, for the sake of argument, look better from the sides. But how many people are looking at your profile or staring into your ear? More than likely, they're looking at your face. Now, if you had a really strong prescription, we could begin to have that discussion. But again, with the pros come the cons. With polished edges, well, let me back up a little bit. Crizal is an anti-glare treatment on the front and the back of the lens. You're paying to stop glare, not only from the front of the lens, but from back surface reflections as well. When you polish the edges, that is a glare source. You're now voluntarily allowing glare to come in from the side of your lenses. You pay to have it stopping it from the front and the back. You're willingly letting it in from the sides. Plus, speaking of cosmetic issues, which people argue it looks better from the side, you will have a ghostly image, a little skeleton reflection because of the glare coming in. Cosmetically, people looking at you will see that. Your lens looks thinner from the side, but you'll have ghostly images when people actually look at you. So that's why I don't like polishing edges. Plus, you're not going to see as well with those ghostly images. I had actually a truck driver who was telling me he was getting this orange glow, orange glare, and this only out of his right lens, to come to realize his truck radio, his CB, was orange. So the light from his radio was coming in, going in the side of his lens, and causing everything to have an orange look in front of it. Left lens was fine, there was no radio over here. So again, that's why I don't like to polish lenses, but I give everyone the option. I emailed Scott after his purchase to explain that. He said, do not polish. He said, glare is bad, no polish. And those were his exact words. I like that. So I'm going to use my thumbnail to go around getting a clean surface here. That's why I was spreading everything off. And actually, with the length of time that takes, let's go ahead and flip this over to L. Place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, the Chuckarama. And I forget the guy's name on Saturday Night Live. I paid tribute to by doing that. Oh, I can't think of his name now. Someone leave it in the comment section. But anyway, today I'm calling it not the Chuck, the Rob, the Scott. Why did I call him Rob? The Scott. I robbed you of your first name. Oh, I was thinking Rob because that's the guy's name on Saturday Night Live. Come on, y'all. I gave you that clue. What's his last name? Oh, what is his last name? Little Elvis. It's leaving me now. So we're going to flip that over to L, hit the start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens will be traced by the 2 white styluses, making sure that it is large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the lens. And then measuring the thickness to know where to place the bevel for the best cosmetic look possible. And while that's doing that, let me keep working. I'm going to run my thumbnail around to get what it's telling me is it did not want to put a safety bevel on the back of the lens. So I'm going to do that manually. I'm going to come over here to, remember that wheel I said that has the bevel on there that puts the V-shaped bevel? That's a miniature version over here. So I'm going to turn that on. I'm not going to use the bevel. I'm going to use this other part of the wheel to put a safety bevel on the back surface of the lens. Now my very first edger, everything before 2014, all my videos, I had to do this manually for every pair of glasses. I had a V-shaped groove worn into my thumbnail from scraping it off. My machine does it now. My old Santinelli did not do a very good job of it. So I would manually come and do this for the front and the back surface of the lens on every video. I'm going to use this to get inside the groove even better. Just a regular toothbrush now. Don't anybody worry, this toothbrush has not been in my mouth. But I will not tell you what orifice it has been in. No, don't worry. Scott, I'm kidding. More bad jokes. My wife hates it when I do that. Honey, Scott knows I was kidding. Okay, so, got it in the back of my mouth. I'm still trying to think of what Rob's last name is from Saturday Night Live. Don't make me Google this, y'all, in the middle of a video. Pop the block off, dry that off, add to my sticker collection. Now, you hear that old term our dad used to tell us, you got to have the right tool for that job. That tool, a little piece of ribbon for wrapping presents. So if you're at a dinner party and someone's lens comes out, you can pull a MacGyver moment and tell everyone, back off, I got this. So, now, this is a 20-pound monofilament, just like fishing string. Everyone sees that there. What you don't realize, you have a matching one in the top of the frame. You have a groove that goes around the entire lens. So you have a metal groove that's been sliced in the top just like this. Now there's a figure 8 liner. If you can imagine a string, a double barrel string, if this is the string you see here, there's another one there attached just like a figure 8. It slides into this groove. You take this string off, it slides in, stops over here, then they put the string back in there. So you have a plastic groove in the top, a plastic string at the bottom. I'm going to line everything into the groove at the top. I have the strap folded in half. This is like what you get on a package as well. It's folded in half because I will grab the string, grab both sides of it now. I always start at the outside edge because most lenses are curved towards the nose. I start at the outside corner, move my way towards the center. When you hear that snap, it's, oh, I went past it. It is in the groove. Now I have to get the string out. So I put this finger on the string that holds the lens in, and then slide that out, and we're in the spot. So that's how, if someone's lens were to come out, that's how you would fix it, and they would be so impressed that you know what to do. Now I'm going to put it in the lensometer above that black dot. Spin the axis wheel to 102. Put the lens, this is what's known as final inspection. I'm inspecting the lens to make sure it is the right power. Turn the power drum. and I end up at minus 175, going away from 1, 1 1/4, 150, 175, 2, just shy of 2. That's because the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0 and goes up in quarter increments from there. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. Let's just keep going. 1 1/4, 150, 175. So you're on the 7th rung of the ladder. You need 7 steps of far-sighted correction. With your glasses off, you can see up close great, but as things get further away from you, you need far-sighted correction. So you have 7 steps of far-sighted correction to make everything the correct size. Once it's the correct size, you have a full diopter, 4 steps of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob, and we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 102. So let's check the power of that. We're back to 102. Let's check the second curvature. We end up at minus 275, 1 tick mark away from 3. Remember high school math where you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, don't worry, nobody remembers that. Let's use today's term. Someone borrowed $1.75 from you, then they borrowed another $1. They would owe you $2.75. That's where at $2.75 in the red. Now, same amount of far-sighted correction for the left eye, but you only need 3 steps, 3/4 of a diopter of astigmatism correction for the left. Now, everyone freaks out when they hear the word astigmatism. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like you don't freak out when you hear someone has curly hair or straight hair, and you're used to that. So you have 175 here, a second curve 90 degrees away, and it's how we line those 2 curves up to make everything nice and crisp. And for your left eye, we're going to turn it to 95. Now, these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. So let's go ahead and get the left lens mounted. The machine has stopped. Take the lens out of the Chuck, the Charles, the Scott. Oh, Rob, what is that actor's name? Rob. He's in all the movies with Adam Sandler, at least most of them. 50 First Dates. I've had to watch that movie over 50 times because my wife will watch, yeah, I'm talking about you, honey. My wife will watch anything with Drew Barrymore, J-Lo, oh, who's that other actress? Oh man, she watches all the time. Any movie that they're in. But in the Adam Sandler movie, 50 First Dates, he plays that Hawaiian guy who gets beat up. Come on, y'all. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you know that actor's name. I'm stuck on Rob, but it may not actually be Rob. He was Little Elvis. He was in that funny Gigolo movie. He was in a couple other things. Y'all bail me out. Look, I got the ink over on my hands. I'm going to have to redot the lens. So let's take out the demo lens, grabbing the frame here, pulling downward, pushing outward on the lens. It pops right out. Toss it in the case, so you'll be receiving that. I left that out because I'm going to clean those 2 dots off before I mail these back to you. Tuck the lens into the top groove first. Once I'm satisfied that it's in there correctly, grab the strap, grab the string, start at the outside corner, work my way towards the nose till I hear the snap. That is in there. Put my finger on the string, slide that out, put the strap back in place. Turn the axis wheel to 95, which corresponds to the astigmatism correction of your left eye. Put it in till I find the center of the lens. Read the power. I'm getting minus 175, 1 tick mark away from 2, 175. Now we're going to add minus 75 to that, and if all goes well, we'll be at 250. Look at that, halfway between 2 and 3, 250. Now I do need to put a dot on the lens because I've rubbed it off while doing the safety bevel. This is the next step in the final inspection. I want to measure your pupillary distance, which is 62, optical center height of 17.5. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb. When I hold it up to the right lens, we'll look on the left, and that says 62 millimeters. Now normally I say never look at the bottom of the lens, look at the middle of the thickest part of the frame. In a frame like that, that would be true to measure the optical center. But this time, we are going to look at the bottom of the lens. We're getting 17.5, so that is cut perfectly at the deepest point. I'm not measuring here, I'm going over here. 17.5, so that is cut perfectly. Now this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned there's free shipping anywhere in the US. and Arkadelphia, Arkansas is in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And before I forget, let me clean those dots off. And I'm no exception. I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. Flip them over, press down. There is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. Now, these carbon fiber temples cannot be, as I mentioned earlier, if you have one ear, if it's too loose or too tight, or one ear that's higher than the other, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments. But the one thing they cannot do is bend this one down. No amount of heat will do this. Carbon fiber will not bend. So what RayBan has done, it has given this frame some wrap, some face form, and then there's rubber tips on the inside and outside of these temples to prevent it from rubbing. But if this frame were too loose, you still could have an optician take a pair of single padded pliers as a pad on only one side versus a double padded plier. But you could put the metal on the inside, grab the plastic goes on the outside, and you could turn it inward, making this go inward like this at the metal hinge, not the adjustable hinge here. If these were too tight, same thing, you put it here and then turn it this way, and it would cause the frame to come outward here at the metal hinge where it is designed to be adjusted. So it only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly. But let me go ahead and clean these a little more, and then we'll activate them. By the way, this frame, the RayBan 8412, either size, either color, sells for $225. The Transitions Generation 8 has gone up in price. It is now $99.99, and Crizal Alize is $79.99. You can get these with Crizal Sapphire if you want. There's many options. Let me get these all cleaned up. By the way, I send out a selfie request in every package. So, Scott, I would love to have 2 selfies. One indoors with these clear when you're under quarantine. One outside in the sun. Now, I also send out cleaning instructions, not only to care for your frame and lenses, but for your cleaning cloths. The RayBan cleaning cloth they provide, the premium microfiber cloth that I provide, as well as your Crizal cleaning cloth, and instructions on how to care for your case so it too will last you for years. No other seller does that on the internet, I am told. So I'm going to expose these to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now, as you can see, all photochromic transition lenses take about 30 to 45 seconds to darken, a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. The only time they will not turn dark is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will turn dark, just not behind a windshield. Now, the Transitions Extra Active will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. Also, all transition lenses are temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. We all work much better when it cools off. And you can see as I keep talking, this is going to return back to clear. These are the Generation 8 lenses, so you can see how fast they turn back to clear after exposing them to a very strong burst of ultraviolet light, more than you would get just from going outside. If you like my video, do that. Literally, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Click the bell icon so you can get future notifications of future videos as they come out. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as Free Prescription Lenses, on Twitter as Free RX Lenses. In fact, Scott, if you do take selfies, you can just hashtag me using the @ symbol, Free Prescription Lenses, and I'll go straight to my Instagram account, and people can see you wearing these and know how good they'll look inside and outside. What else is there to say? I'm trying to wait for these to return back to virtually clear. It's not like me to run out of things to say. But yeah, thank you for the purchase of this frame. I have this and many more frames. If I don't have the RayBan you're looking for on the website, and I will be revamping the website soon. So as it gets rebuilt, I'll have less frames on there. It's going to be more user friendly. But at some point, I'm going to have to keep adding frames on there. If there's a frame you want that you don't see, just go to the Contact Me page of the website and email me. If you really want to be nice, you can leave me a picture, email me a picture of your prescription, tell me your pupillary distance, tell me what lenses you're interested in. I can check on the price, the availability of the frame, and tell you exactly how long it would take for me to ship your lenses. Now we're getting back to clear. Now we're getting back there. But again, this RayBan 8412 comes in 52 and 54. It comes in 4 colors. This is the color 2503. Scott in Arkadelphia, Arkansas got the Transitions Generation 8 gray lenses with Crizal Alize. And now hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.